Abel, wake up! You'll never believe what's going on.
Abel, we've discovered how the scroll works. The scroll of the floor of Donatus.
My finger, Abel. My finger is the key.
Yes, the little one. The little one with the griggly finger.
The tiny halfling finger. I got caught in a scroll after I scratched it, and then a portal. Oh, Abel, it's underneath our feet. Our very feet, Abel.
We're going to be able to go anywhere in the Breen.
The Breen is our oyster, Abel.
Are you awake yet?
Abel?
Abel.
What happened?
Oh, God damn it. Time for Dungeon Dads.
Heroes rise, heroes fall. I see them on the front line, standing tall. They're risking life and limb to answer the call. But what they fighting for? Don't know, don't care, just along for the ride. But everyone must stand. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna win inside.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. I am so excited about this week. We got all the gang back together.
Yeah, we all here.
That's right. That's right. We are joined this week by John Watson playing the wizard with a tiny, tiny, tiny finger.
Man, I hated that finger until last episode.
We've got Tim Carr, who's playing Filnyr and the warlock who now knows how to cast synaptic static.
Yes, and how to make Jonas appreciate his little finger.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. This is how you flick it, John. This is how you flick it.
No, that finger.
And Sam Frank. Oh man, we missed you so much.
Good
Welcome
to be back.
And
So I took a risk, which may be bad for me, but may be good for the story, which is I did not listen to last week's episode.
So when we just told you what happened, you just heard what happened.
Yeah.
Wow.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wow. As will continue.
Nice.
oh, that's awesome. Okay, that's great. So you guys have just woken up, Abel. I will leave the prologue a little bit open-ended. I will say though that as you are getting Abel up, I'm assuming Filnyr, you're going to be cooking some breakfast, getting things moving that direction. You will start with a short rest. And Abel, now you didn't listen last time.
Hey.
So here is the thing, and I may have signaled this to you somewhat. While you were sleeping, your God was communicating with you, and you were sort of figuring out what has been going on, and you were remembering your past in ways that you had not before, and you have leveled up to level 10 while in your sleep.
Not the best thing that's happened to me while I was sleeping, but pretty good.
Save that for the bonus.
But here's the kicker. Abel communicated with you something, and he transferred some knowledge to you that will likely be... Tempest, sorry.
Yeah.
Tempest translated some knowledge to you that is likely going to be super useful for one of your teammates. And I will let you decide when you share that knowledge and how you share that knowledge with your colleague. But fellas, tell me what you're doing.
Well, you said we get a short rest, right? So I'm gonna get my spells back. Gonna take some hit dice.
Yeah, seriously.
And then I think I have to send Pawson on another expedition to go find some food because we are out of rations. We have a campfire. And
2 of those backpacks had rations in them.
Oh, 2 of
that you found
Nice,
under things.
nice.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we'll eat.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad you found breakfast. That's you guys must have had a productive morning.
Well, we managed to survive getting ourselves into some trouble. So, as we mentioned, we figured out how the scroll works, and there is actually a teleportation circle immediately beneath us under the temple, which we can activate. And using the scroll, we can open a portal and go to the other end of it. The problem is we don't know where any of the portals go. We have to essentially spell the name of the gate we want to open. So we spelled the word Griggly. If you see it here on the scroll, it spells Griggly. And it opened somewhere. We did not go through it because as soon as we opened it, some people jumped in. Or rather, one wizard set on finding some help for Lady Luatil that decided we were not that help and tried to kill us.
Fellas, this is a lot to hit somebody with first thing in the morning.
Sorry.
We are sorry, Abel.
It's awful grass. Are there any trees around here? Can we get some good bark, get a tea going?
Not many trees.
Master Abel, I saw a tree far in the distance. How much bark do you need from it? It won't take me long.
Well, 3 strips as long as my arm.
Oh, wait, guys, is Rary still going?
How long does it last? It lasts an hour, right? So if we had a short rest, it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone.
How long was I asleep?
Yeah, what time is it, Tom? How much longer did we have to wait for Abel?
It's about noon. It's about noon.
I had the strangest dream.
What did you dream?
I was an innkeeper in a small town populated by lovable but comedic characters.
How
I'm
odd.
sorry. What?
They were, they were all kind of oddballs, but in a way that made them fun to interact with.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was. Boy, felt like multiple seasons passed.
Well,
Tempest spoke to me in my dream.
what did you say?
He had a message for you, Jonas.
For me?
He phrased it as something that could help us in our travels, in our goals to possibly help Tempest. But everything he gives you is as a double-edged sword. But he explained the ritual like this, and I sort of demonstrate some wizardly gestures, some somatic components. And then I say, and then as you do this, you have to say, "These fine stockings are just my size. Now I command the dead to rise." This is what he told me.
I'm sorry.
Shall I demonstrate again?
Well, before you do, just a question. The dead to rise. So now is this some sort of necromantic magic?
He gave me the impression that death would no longer be a barrier to soldiers fighting for our cause, at least in this small and limited way.
So I dance around like a fool.
You perform these somatic wizardly gestures.
Sure. And soldiers who have died will stand up and fight for me.
That is as I have yet to... Well, the verbal component is very important.
Oh, there's a verbal component.
Yes.
Aside from the I command the dead to rise, or...
No, these fine stockings are just my size. Now I command the dead to rise. He was very clear on that point. Those are the exact words that must be spoken.
So, John, I would like for you to give me an Arcana check on what Sam is telling you.
Okay, here we go. That's a 14.
So, about half of what Abel showed you on his hand motions are 100% correct. And the other half are wrong, but you totally get it. You can see the way his fingers are dancing, and he's using the wrong finger in one place. And, the sign language for the J is in there, and it actually should be sort of pointing at like something. And so like how to target this stuff. And you're just going to have to take his word for it that this your stockings are just your size.
This magic comes from Tempest.
Yeah.
He has strange requirements sometimes.
And so you will get the promised spell at level up of Dance Macabre.
Oh my gosh.
And if you spend the rest of your short rest sort of translating this into your spell book, it will not cost you any gold to write this in your spell book. You will have it. You will figure it out. And this is the 5th level spell, Dance Macabre.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Abel. I will. I think I am getting a sense of what you're doing, and think I'm going to sit over here and get a sense of it. Try to figure it out. Thank you for that piece of information. While I'm doing that, could you please pack my bedroll?
I appreciate your humor, but I want to make something very clear about Tempest's aid here. I don't think you have to be wearing fine stockings for it to work.
I just have to say it.
You just have to say it. Yeah.
All right. That Tempest, he never gives anything for free, does he?
Never a straight line with him, is it?
I will, yes, I will work on that.
Boy, sometimes it's enough to make a man want to go up on the mountain and be a hermit just to get away from him.
I am beginning to understand you a lot more, Abel. Thank you.
You want to talk level 10 level up real quick?
Yep. Let's hear it. You have one really excellent ability, which lines up to what you have just done with your thing. So
first off, I am going to take my average hit points.
All right.
Again.
I see the wisdom in this. I think I might start doing this in Mountain City Mayhem as well.
Well, it's not as much fun, but so that means I get 5 plus my 2 from Tough.
Awesome.
So that's 7, taking me to 71 hit points.
Damn. Nice.
I also get a new cantrip.
Ooh.
Now, this is not necessarily super exciting, I think, for a lot of people. But the amount of times on this podcast I've said, damn, I wish I had thaumaturgy. Why didn't I take thaumaturgy? What's wrong with me? This is the greatest cantrip of all time. I'm taking
that's awesome. I love it. Now, does thaumaturgy let you start a fire?
It does not. Shall I read it?
Nah.
It says, you manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. That's me. I'm all about signs of supernatural power.
Yep.
Your voice, this is the one I like best. Your voice booms up to 3 times as loud as normal for 1 minute. That one's really handy. You cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color for 1 minute. That seems like more of a Filnyr thing.
Yeah.
I may do it, but that's more up his alley. You cause harmless tremors in the ground for 1 minute.
That makes sense. Yeah.
You create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range, such as a rumble of thunder, the cry of a raven, or ominous whispers.
I love it. Okay.
You instantaneously cause an unlocked door or window to fly open or slam shut, or you alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. So, being able to give yourself flaming red eyes and a booming voice, and the ground shakes at your step.
You've been wanting this for many episodes.
It's true.
I know.
It's true.
I know. It is, I would venture so far as to say it's my favorite cantrip.
Yeah.
And, only only a rigid, literal mindedness and practicality, which is normally anathema to me, has kept me from taking it before.
Huh.
Hmm.
That's interesting. Do you think that has anything to do with your original Constitution roll?
Yeah, where I felt like, oh gosh, I
have to maximize the mechanics.
I've really got to do some maxing on this now. Every cantrip now must keep me from dying.
Yeah.
And then the other thing I get at level 10 is divine intervention.
And this is badass.
Which is, yeah. I mean, it's sort of a Hail Mary. But beginning at 10th level, you can call on your and this is nice. This is, good and thematic for this moment. Beginning at 10th level, you can call on your deity to intervene on your behalf when your need is great. Imploring your deity's aid requires you to use your action, describe the assistance you seek, and roll percentile dice. If you roll a number equal to or lower than your cleric level, your deity intervenes. The DM chooses the nature of the intervention. The effect of any cleric spell or cleric domain spell would be appropriate. If your deity intervenes, you can't use this feature again for 7 days. Blah, blah, blah. Otherwise, you can use it again after you finish long rest.
But no worry of going insane from the use of this ability the way one might with something like a wish. So it's it's not as regular as a wish, but...
It's only, like right now, it's only got a 10% chance of working.
Yep.
At 20th level, your call for intervention succeeds automatically. No roll required.
That's awesome.
Wow. So you go
That's
from
awesome.
19% chance of success to 100.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
So anyway, divine intervention. So
you're going to...
I'll say, Tempest and I, we sort of patch things up. I mean, not all the way, but we've reached a detente of sorts. That's an old Elvish word. It means a cessation of hostilities.
Glad to hear that, Abel. I'm still confused about how your relationship works with him being trapped in the stone, but you seem to be well, and I've seen you're very impressive in battle, so...
Well, c'est la vie. That's also an old Elvish phrase. Also, why ask why? Try but try. The ways of gods are sometimes beyond us mere mortals.
Apparently.
I've learned not to ask too many questions, but also not too few questions. You want to ask just the right number of questions.
Thank you.
Wait, is that enough for an inspiring leader?
That's good.
Nice.
We're getting some temp hit points as well.
Get your temp hit points.
How many do we get again?
Oh, I had to double check because
Yeah,
I
you're
went up a
level 10
level
now.
now.
It's 10 plus your charisma modifier, right?
No, your level plus your charisma modifier.
Right.
Yeah. So 10
Yeah.
plus my charisma modifier, so 12.
Wow.
That's some sweet stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
So as you're giving that speech, and I'm assuming Pawson is also listening to it and thinking this is also sounding great,
You see, the mysteries of the gods are not really for us to understand, but to experience. And yet sometimes you have to ask some questions at the edges of those mysteries in order to experience them.
Master, listen. Abel speaking. Master, listen. Put the bacon down.
No, Filnyr, don't put the bacon down. Listen and cook.
So, yeah. So as you finish, Pawson, his ears perk up and he sniffs at the air. Many people, not far. Pawson, check. And he darts off.
Pawson.
Wait,
In your nose good enough to get them when they're far?
The rock up there. Do you see the rock? And it's the place he was eating his Durger snack, John and Tim.
Yep.
He says, I can see from there.
Wait, did I hear something about teleportation circles?
We'll explain it to you. I'll send Saber with you, Pawson. I'll send Saber with you.
Okay.
But-
And can Saber ride on Pawson's back?
Sure.
Okay. So that happens. They're like 800 feet away, 1,000
awesome.
feet away, and he climbs up on top of the stone, and he's like looking out, and they start walking back slowly. He's not sprinting anymore.
Oh, okay. While they're coming back, yes, Abel, what we were trying to tell you is there is a giant teleportation circle directly beneath our feet. And Filnyr and I went to investigate it. And it seemed to have the letters on the back of it. If you can see here on the diagram here, it says Trip God. This apparently is the Trip God teleportation circle.
Do you feel like that's extraordinarily lucky or extraordinarily unlucky?
We are still trying to find that out.
Wait, wasn't Mr. Percy supposed to come back?
He comes back at midnight tonight.
Okay.
So we need to wait here for him.
As long as we have the chest, it doesn't matter where we are.
I see.
But I would like to have a relatively safe place so that we can concentrate on getting him out of the chest.
Yes.
Is there any indication of where the other circles might be?
Well, I've been thinking about that. We do not necessarily know, and as Filnyr and I found out, it is quite dangerous to just experiment. I think it's time to give Still Moonbrook a favor.
To give her a favor.
She is a wealth of knowledge. She will probably know more about these circles than we do. And but at the same time, I think she's done more for us than she would like.
Perhaps. What would you offer her? I suppose we should ask what she would want for.
I would like to reach out to her and find out if there's anything we can offer her.
Well, it seems like all roads lead to Felipe Madamba and the Ryan Mighty.
I think you're right.
Master.
Yes, Pawson.
It's 200, maybe more.
200?
They're families, travelers. It's a caravan. It's a caravan coming from the north.
I'm gonna let Saber hit me with all the images.
Yeah, so you see kind of what Pawson said. It's it's a mix of people. There are several horses and wagons, but here's the one thing that's weird that you immediately notice is that not a single person who is in this caravan is riding on a horse or riding in a wagon. And this kind of just stuff in the wagons. And he sort of had trained his eyes on one person in particular. And he's a dwarf. And even though it's noon here, the light had dimmed around him in a 50 to 60 foot radius. And he, inside of that dim light, was kind of glowing. And so even Saber sort of had trained his eyes on him and not so much the other folks. Mostly dwarves in this group, some elves, a couple of humans, a couple of maybe half elves. It's hard to tell. They're wearing cloaks. They do not look like they are made for war. This does not look like a army by any means.
Did it look like they were coming from a particular direction?
North. They were coming north. Robert's Gift, where you got on at one of the easternmost spots, and you're now about a third of the way onto Robert's Gift. Robert's Gift goes north for probably 20 miles before it falls off. So they're coming from that general direction, heading south, heading in kind of toward you.
Okay.
Well, I think for Mr. Percy, we are safer here than if we set up camp somewhere along the road. But I'm not opposed to moving. We just can't say what we'll find in 7 or 8 hours. But this caravan seems like refugees or a large group of travelers. Very large.
Well, I'm a little concerned as to the direction they're coming.
They're coming from. Is that where we wanted to go, Tom? Ryan,
No, you're going to be going west.
Okay.
So you're gonna if you stay on this path, you're gonna head clear across Robert's Gift. You're gonna completely navigate in the longest direction across it. And then that's going to put you square in the woods that the three-way is in. So you're not, once you come off of the Gift, you're going to be probably 150 miles from Hark City and about 10 miles away from the Ryan Mighty.
And to me, does this, since they're coming from the north, does it feel like they're coming from Monterre?
It probably that's the only city that direction that you know of.
Uh-huh.
You know, you've probably made this trip south to the Breen once in your life before taking the thing.
Sure.
So like there are settlements along the way, but this is, I mean, nothing big, nothing big.
Well, he's seen the caravan. Did they look like Monterans?
Yes, they looked like Monterans. Some of them did. Some of them looked like Monterans. The guy in the front that didn't look like anything you ever seen before. I mean, he's a dwarf, but he is.
He's weird.
He's weird. He's weird.
He's super hot.
Yeah. But he looks really.
He doesn't look like it.
Yeah, he looked really, really old, and his dress was like, you know, it looked supernatural. Like it looked like his cloak could have been leaves, but they were definitely not leaves. And he was, and everything was black. Like every bit of clothing on him was dark black, and yet he was glowing.
I have a feeling that we may need to find out where these people are going.
I'm not opposed to using some diplomacy, as you well know. So perhaps it is wise to discuss with whoever leads the caravan. And perhaps they have rations and other things that could be useful for us. We are short on food.
I gotta say, fellas, this habit of running away from everybody we meet is gonna be hard for me to break. But maybe it's time to start breaking it.
Well, the way I see it, if we are actually looking at stopping the unrest in this area, we need to find out more.
Maybe we have to stop acting like everyone is going to try to kill us.
Indeed. Find out more about what's actually going on and find out if there are people that might need help in this situation.
Just like act like we belong here. Like it's not our first time at the road.
Well, if there is trouble, I have the easiest time getting away. So I can, and I am from Monterre. I would not mind.
Boy, that's a load off my mind. King Silverwind. I'm surely relieved that if anything bad should happen, you'll be the first one out of it.
Well, all I mean to say, Abel, is that if I would like to run and talk to them. If I do get into trouble, I can get myself out and we can regroup.
Might I make a suggestion, Ionas?
Yes.
Approach on a unicorn.
Do I have 10 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, they're walking, and they're probably a mile away now.
Oh yeah. So
yeah.
I'll.
So they're probably at the fastest. They're 20 minutes away from where you are now. At the very fastest.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a caravan.
And you might want to, and I just sort of gesture generally at his face and prestidigitate a little bit.
Oh, yes, sure. So I did run into a little bit of trouble. So yeah, I give myself a pat down, as if I'm putting water on my face or whatever. I just get cleaner and cleaner. And then I make my unicorn, my spectral unicorn, and I head to the top of the hill where Pawson was. Is that will I intercept them there or?
they will be able to see you there for sure when they get a little closer.
Okay, so I'll position myself at the
Ionas,
top.
put the sun at your back. It will look majestic. I don't know where the sun is right now, but it's just overhead. It's like,
Yeah, right. I don't know if I can do that
Never
now.
mind.
Use my shield to give him a little
Yeah, right.
fill.
Right.
Yeah.
And I before they get to me, I can't do it as impressively as Aragorn, so I'll use minor illusion. But I'll get to the top and I'll say, "Ho there! What news from Monterre?"
So they are making their way, and you can just see this almost like a spherical bubble of dimness. It's not darkness; it's just dimness. It's almost like the leader is always in a shadow, as though a cloud is heading. It's just always staying somehow between him and the sun. Except even above him, about 50 feet, it's sunny there, and he sort of stops and looks up at you and says, "Oh, friend, are you traveling alone? I have plenty of room here on my caravan. We head south."
Oh, that's very interesting. I'm actually on my way to meet some people, but I wanted to see if there was any way I could be of service or find out if there was any grand news from Monterre. I long to see that city again.
As a matter of fact, most of our members here, the caravan, are directly coming from Monterre. Even the ones who don't live there full time. He sort of looks up at the sky and says, "Noon, it's... would you like to walk with us, friend? I don't like to stop before 2:00. I like to get a full day's walk."
Can I run an Arcana check on him?
Sure.
That is a 26.
Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right.
Let's roll.
Yeah, you haven't seen anyone who sort of oozes his kind of magic before. It is not arcane.
Hmm.
And it doesn't seem to be divine the way Abel's magic happens. If you had to guess, when you were in your younger days traveling, learning magic on your own, you did see druids who could cast weather-altering spells and things like that, and it's most like that. And now that he's close, you got a 26. This is a pretty high roll. So I'm going to give you a little bit more here.
All right.
Now that you're close, you see that his cloak is actually it's like very thin muslin, and what you thought were leaves are actually constellations that are moving on the outside of his cloak, and you haven't studied the stars enough to quite understand this, but you can see that some of the constellations that you learned as a young man in sort of noble finishing school of Monterre, have appeared, are on his cloak, and in particular you recognize the archer on his cloak as it sort of billows in the wind.
Okay.
He says, "Sir, the one thing I will say to you is that many of our travelers follow Gerelta. Are you familiar with that god?"
I am not.
She is quite an odd god. She is the goddess of roads and distance. Many of these dwarves had the option to travel in a much faster clip, but chose to walk instead. And I promised them that I would not ride my animal companion who is trotting back there at the back. And you see that he's using his head to show that there's a mule back there that's got saddlebags on it. And he says, If I were you, I would perhaps walk that fine spectral beast of yours.
Walk while I can still ride it?
They will not be impressed if that is your goal. Riding on a beast when your feet could carry you just as easily.
Indeed. I turn around. Do I see Filnyr and Abel?
Yeah, you can see them.
Are we just hanging at the top of the hill?
Yeah, I figured we wouldn't be too far behind him.
But yeah, I wouldn't get too close with Pawson.
Yeah, but I think if let's say that Jonas is sort of like crest of the hill on the rock, like we're standing, I think, behind.
So when they get close, they could probably see your heads, but like you're not. So you're not hiding, but you're not like up there with him.
Right.
We're being non-threatening.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, as much as two badasses like us can be non-threatening. With a giant winter wolf behind us. Yeah.
I just say, well, would you like to walk with them for a bit and find out what's happening?
They seem friendly enough.
Well, I'm going to... All right. I shall dismount. I'm coming with some of my companions.
Oh, sounds good. Come join us in the walk. So how much are you guys checking them out from the hill?
Oh man, from head to toe.
Head to toe.
Ocular pat down, every single one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's the
every single individual.
216 people.
Number 143. Looking good today. I'm just saying.
Get in your seat. Get your notebook ready. get ready to take some notes. Filnyr, DC 5 perception check.
Okay. Considering I have a +5, you should have made that harder. But
yeah,
it's 21.
No, a 1 would have failed. I wanted. I didn't realize you had a +5 though. Okay. Okay.
21.
So Filnyr, walking just behind this constellation shrouded guide of this caravan, you see a half elf, and this motherfucker, you know him really well. He was the docent of the Omnian consulate for 5 years, and he left about 2 years ago. He was sent on a mission to Monterre. His name is Bobby, and in the docent world, on these consulates, there's really two classes: local hires,
yeah,
which is what you are,
right.
And then there are citizen docents who actually come from the city where their consulate is representing.
Like the career guys.
And Bobby, everybody loves Bobby. Bobby learned all the tricks, all the cultural ticks of Lakeshire. You never liked this motherfucker, and he never liked you. He was always there with sort of a nag, one of these like half compliments that was like trying to make you feel bad about not actually being from Neverwinter. So you see that guy, and he's walking down with these people.
It's sort of like a nice cream puff. Is it your first time making them?
yeah. Really good try. Oh my God. For someone who's never been to Neverwinter, it's interesting. Like what made you decide to learn this particular style of cooking? Just bored with your local customs? I'm interested. Yeah. So that's Bobby.
We don't want to step on the actual conversation with Bobby. I'm just saying.
That's Bobby. And then you see that there are shopkeepers that you recognize that would come into Lakeshire during festival season.
Okay.
So they're kind of like the traveling. This is part of a traveling like fair type thing. So they set up shop in the small part of town, and during festivals the only time big people are allowed to go in the small part of town in Lakeshire, and so that's the only time you've ever been there, and also the only time you've ever seen these folks. But you recognize them. You recognize at least two guys who are sort of traveling shopkeepers.
Okay.
Filnyr, have you seen some ill omen? A shadow passed across your visage.
Did my expression drop? Yes. Bobby, that half elf there, he's he was well known in Lakeshire, and we knew each other. We did not see eye to eye, to put it politely. However, of note, there are some traveling shopkeepers, the kind that sell their wares at festivals and move about. So we may find some interesting
This
finds.
Bobby, is he evil?
Oh, I don't know that he's evil. I don't know that he's very nice either, but people seem to like him for some reason.
Boy, that makes killing him a real questionable proposition then, morally speaking.
Stay your weapons for now. We shall hopefully not arrive there.
So not evil, just a real son of a bitch.
Bit of a prick, yeah.
Ooh, I think that's worse. I mean, people have called me a son of a bitch before. Nobody's called me a prick and lived.
Okay, so you also see some family members of people who are traveling. You see a lot of very stockier than normal dwarves that are walking with them. Probably like 30 or 40 dwarves with giant arms. Ionas, you immediately recognize that these people are masons, stone cutters. They have the look of Monteran like guild members for sure.
And that was going to be my question. What's my knowledge of the guilds?
You know that the Marauds are in charge of the stone cutters.
Mhm.
You know that the Marauds throw fabulous parties. And you know that whenever your family did any kind of major improvements to your estate, that suddenly you were always sort of overwhelmed with kind guild members who were there doing the work on your estate.
Got it.
And you don't recognize any of these people, but like
No.
they look like, you've seen one mason, you've seen them all kind of thing.
But gentlemen, these appear to be guild members, stonecutter dwarves from the
All of them?
Stonecutters Guild in Monterey. Well, a few of them I recognize. I see there and there. You can tell them by their build. Very stocky, hearty dwarves.
Hey, let me point out this one prick to you.
I'm sorry.
See that half elf there?
Yes.
His name's Bobby. He made Filnyr go all dark and quiet.
And you called him a prick.
Not my words, believe it or not.
We do not mention that in our social circles in Monterey. Those are, shall you say, fighting words.
I agree. And isn't being on the road education?
Filnyr, should we handle this problem for you?
No, he said he's not evil.
Not evil.
Just a prick.
All right. They're usually synonymous, but all right. If that's
Let us see what happens. Perhaps his travels have changed him, though I am skeptical.
Gentlemen, come join us. Walk with us.
Probably the kind of guy that's always giving you backhanded compliments, you know?
Well, I'll let Filnyr do the talking with that one. I'm going to speak to this interesting cloaked dwarf and maybe take a look at some of these merchants.
Like, this is real nice tea for stuff that's made out of bark. Can't stand people like that.
Exotic bark.
All right, so you're making your way. So they definitely slow down as you approach, but it's a long caravan. People are still walking. It's a fairly like orderly line. 4 or 5 people abreast, horses, wagons. You see Filnyr, the 2 shopkeepers you kind of recognize, Blackjack Koigo and Corpus Balgruff. You see that they are the only 2 who are riding in wagons, and they're just riding in the backs of their wagons with their stuff, and they've got people who are sort of guiding them, and everybody else is on foot, and you guys start getting close, and Filnyr, Bobby sees you, and his face lights up. He says, Filnyr. Goodness. I didn't think I would see you again, not with all the troubles. Filnyr, man, let me see you. And he sort of steps back and he touches your shoulders and he says, good God, man. You didn't get shoulders like that eating those cream puffs. What have you been up to?
I should ask you the same question. Have you left your post?
Oh, you know the life of a diplomat. Sending me here, sending me there. I was just in Monterre, and I was in the Cloud Sea. You would not believe how they treated us up there. I mean, if you thought Hark City had the best seafood, you would not believe what they get to the top of the mountain. There's not even any water, man. How do they get it there? No one knows, but it's delicious. It's the best you've ever had. They do this thing with glaze, and I'm not going to tell you that it's exactly orange or it's exactly what the Waterdeep people do, but it's somehow even better and it's delicate. It's like, have you ever had cod? No, of course not. So it's a soft fish and they have to add oil to it.
Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah,
Be well.
It's delicious.
And I'm just going to walk over to one of the shopkeepers.
Wait. I want to hear the end of that.
Well,
Oh, Filnyr, I got bad news for you. I think I could listen to this guy talk for hours.
Filnyr, are these your friends? Humans?
Yes.
Human friends? Good for you. Hi, sir. And he walks up to you, Abel. He says, good sir, I detect a bit in your voice of the southern Faerun. Say this word for me. Say SWORD. Can you say that? Oh, sorry. Can you read, sir?
Bobby, do you want to hear me say sword?
Oh, I know where you're from. Sword Coast. Am I right?
It's been a long time. I've been here and there and everywhere, and I don't rightly remember where I'm from, but it's been so long since somebody paid attention to me like this. I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, come walk with me. And how about your friend? Oh, goodness. You would not believe. Has anyone ever told you that you look like the head of the Silverwind household? I mean, not as strong, not as grand or noble, but I could definitely see a resemblance. Where are you from, sir?
Well, I'm a little confused. I've never heard of a Silverwind household in Monterre.
Wait. Say that word again.
Silverwind?
No, sorry, the city.
Monterre?
Oh, you've spent some time in the Cloud Sea, haven't you?
Bobby, you would do well to mind your tongue.
Sorry, Filnyr, is there something wrong?
Well, wait, Filnyr, he was just about to guess.
Feel free.
This is my favorite part.
Feel free, guess. But put on your manners, Bobby.
Okay. He stands back, he walks around, he says, okay. Side profile.
And I'm just like rubbing my hands together like a little kid. This is amazing.
Sir, are you a maraude?
Perhaps. Keep guessing.
Are you in a relation to the Silhavines?
Bobby, have you ever befriended a king? Oh no, I suppose not. Well, perhaps you should go back and get in line.
Wait. But you're dead.
Am I? And I walk off.
Ionas, come this way. Let me show you something.
All right.
Ionas Silhavines.
We'll walk over to the shopkeepers.
And I'm gonna just do some little mild tremors as he walks on. Just mild little tremors in the ground.
And Bobby,
just enough to send a little thrill up through your legs, you know?
Yeah, so that works. And Bobby comes over to you, Abel, and puts his arm around you and says, you and I really must catch up. Do you know anything about what's happening in Lakeshire?
Oh, Bobby. Sometimes I think I know a lot. Sometimes I think I know a little. But either way, I could talk about it for hours.
So you're going to hang with Bobby, and the two of you are going to keep walking to talk to somebody else?
I don't know what to say, Filnyr. I like this guy.
Do you really say that out loud?
He's charmed. You know, I feel like he really looks at me like a whole person, you know?
I do, sir. You seem quite grand. All right, so these guys are talking in the line with Abel. Where are you going, John and Tim? What do you guys?
Did you want to go talk to the guy in the front first?
I was gonna talk to the guy in the front and see if we could learn anything about the city or whatnot. Filnyr, I'm gonna have a talk with the dwarf up front. Feel free to accompany me, but it seems like there are a number of baubles here in this caravan.
Yes, I recognize these traders. I might see if they have some materials that I have had difficulty finding and we would not just happen upon.
If you happen upon a bag that can hold way more than it looks like it can hold,
I shall ask.
Thank you, sir.
Diamond dust. See if you got any diamond dust.
Do you want to make a list for me, both of you? And I'll just do all the shopping.
Well,
I'll
join you.
Bobby, and Bobby interrupts. She says, "Oh, you're talking about Koigo and Balgruuf? They're not going to sell you anything until we stop. They're going to set up like they always do, and then Galen's going to send his starburst up in the sky, and when he does, it alerts people that we are here and we are open for business, and you would not believe the number of people on Robert's Gift. I always heard it was an abandoned wasteland, and yet it is not. Robert's Gift is alive with passionate people who seem to have no understanding of what is coming in the not too distant future. These people think they're going to live their lives of freemen on the Gift. They're all going to be slaughtered. It's so sad, but also beautiful. Do you know what I mean? It's sort of like have you listened to the three movement opera?
Quickly.
Bobby, I believe what you're describing is tragic irony, and I would love to plumb its depths with you.
So beautiful. So beautiful.
So, Tom, Filnyr's going to walk back to Blackjack and Quago and not necessarily try to buy anything, but just catch up with them and be like, hey, I remember seeing you in Lakeshire, you know.
Cool.
Just build good spirits.
Okay. Let's do you after John. After John gets to talk to
I don't know how much we have to play that. I think obviously having heard that, Filnyr's going to know that he's not going to go shopping until they've set up shop.
Yep.
But
sounds good.
I think in the meantime, just having familiar faces that he doesn't dislike, he might just go go chat with them.
And I'll tell you what, I'll let you roll a charisma check to get like one bit of information that you want from them.
I mean, what I want from them is not information, but I suppose I will think about that. But go ahead. Let's go ahead and do the other.
And I will say, despite what I've said with Bobby, I definitely want to figure out as much as he knows, and happy to talk to him about anything about Lakeshire, but only stuff that a traveler passing by would know. Okay, nothing about Donatus or trees.
You're going to give him
of the Orc Wars.
You're going to give him little, a very very little, right? But you're going to try to be plumbing it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, Oh, I've seen the fires from the distance. Yeah,
the fires. Yes, I left 2 years ago, and it's hard. I don't.
And I heard rumors, dark rumors. Most people don't know this, but I've heard it said that Gith roamed the countryside.
Gith. Oh my goodness. So Waterdeep and Neverwinter sent their underground armies.
Is that what it is?
Yes. I think this is why I've been recalled to Lakeshire. I was very afraid to go back, with the invasion being planned for so long. And I thought for sure it would have taken longer. Is Adair out of the picture?
Invasion, really?
Yes. Well, they started removing all of the citizen docents years ago in preparation for action against Lakeshire.
Well, then why would they be bringing you back instead of sending you home? Clearly, you're more valuable back home than you would be in some kind of war zone. Look at you.
That's why I think the war must be over.
Well, you know what they say.
What's that?
Every war must end.
That's true. Okay. All right. Is that enough information? Do you want any more specifics about this?
I mean, I think I would try to pump him for anything he knows about what the evasion would constitute, or who brought him back, and what he suspects they're bringing him back for.
At the end of this,
like what the post-invasion picture might look like, according to
At the end of this, I'll let you roll a charisma check as well.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, John. So you're going to talk to the leader, the guide?
Yes, yeah. Head up to the front and say, my goodness, it is good to see folks from Monterre. It's been so long. I'm wondering, why are you this far south?
Oh, well, I always lead people where they need to go. I'm a guide. So I'm not one of your Monterre dwarves.
Oh, right.
The Monterre dwarves are back there. They're led by a very stern man named Dreed. He's a stonecutter, and from what I've learned, he is not planning to return to Monterre. They're going to a job here in the south, and when the job is done, he plans to keep his family with him and stay here in the Breen.
Oh, really? But why leave such a grand city as Monterre?
Well, I think there have been troubles there, and he is tired of it. I think he's also what they call there a scab. So he's been in trouble one too many times with his guild for doing jobs cheaper than what is asked of him.
Oh my! Well, if I go speak to him, will I be in any danger?
I don't know. Are you a rock?
Well said, sir. Well said. Well, I'd like to know. You seem not to be worried about traveling up to Monterre and back. What have you heard?
Nope. Well, I wouldn't go on the three-way if my life depended on it. That's one thing I'll tell you. I never go into the city of Monterre. I always stay just to the south in the woods, and the caravan leaves from Monterre, heads down south to the Gilbraine wilds, and then over to Adair City, and then to Hark, and then back up to Monterre. It takes us 2 years to do the full circuit, and I wouldn't trade my life for anything.
Wow.
You can't fence me in.
2 years, you say? Very interesting. Did you say you would not go into the three-way?
I would not go into the three-way. Not now. In fact, we're contemplating. Have you met Bobby?
I did briefly, in passing.
Bobby is interesting fella. He seems to think Hark is preparing an invasion of Monterre.
An invasion of Monterre?
Yes, I know they're supposed to be allies, but the way he says it, they've been massing troops for years, and they're heading up and taking over small encampments on the three-way. Not a good place for traveling merchants, if you ask me.
So the three-way is filling up with Hawk's soldiers. Yes, that does sound like trouble. Thank you. Can you tell me, what sort of magic is this? I see that it's dim here.
Not magic at all. I'm a man of the stars, and during the day I can't see the stars, so I bring them to me.
You bring them to you. Is this so? You're connected to nature. Is this a druidic ability?
Not like the Gilbraine druids, if that's what you're asking. I have a direct connection to my gods in the sky. They don't talk to me exactly, but they show me the way.
Very interesting.
You haven't come across us before.
I never have. This is new to me.
There's a lot of us in the Gilbraine wilds now. We were the. I mean, if you believe the stories, we were the priests of the Moonbrook elves years and years and years ago. They don't believe what you hear about the elves and the dwarves not getting along. We got along just fine.
Yes, well, I wouldn't presume to know too much about that. I'm very interested in finding out about different cultures firsthand. So thank you very much for this bit of information. So you hail from the Gilbraine wilds. That is, and you knew the Moonbrook elves.
Yeah, I look old, but I was but a young lad when the Moonbrook elves. I don't know the right way to say it. Dispersed, mostly into thin air.
Mostly into thin air.
It's a nice way of saying it. The stars say it that way. They were mostly opened up from their gut and bled out on this ground where you now walk.
Yes, I prefer your original way of saying it.
Dispersed into thin air.
Yes.
Their essence, their stars, dust, back to the sky.
And you do not. Are they coming back to the Gilbraine wilds, or are they pretty much dispersed?
The old ones mostly in air. Some of the ones that fled, they go down there to Gilbraine. Some of them are hedge witches, thieves. You do what you gotta do.
Understood. It is a shame what happened to that once great clan of elves.
Well, people that look like you are the ones who did it. I mean, no offense to you. I know you're a human.
No, it's no offense, but I do know I do know our Maya past, and
Yes. Well,
becoming far more familiar with it now in my older age. So if I explored the Gilbraine wilds, what clan of dwarf?
beautiful place.
What clan
Beautiful
of dwarf should I
place.
look for? Where do you hail from? What is your family lineage?
Is it too obtuse to say we come from the stars?
Could I at least have a name? Your name?
Oh, my name, Galen.
Galen.
Galen Starcrusher.
Galen Star Crusher.
Starcrusher, yes. Yep.
But
It's because my whole family is in love with the stars.
And so I would then look for the Star Crusher dwarves, or do you all have different monikers?
We have a giant glass tube, and we can look through the tube and see the stars from the Gilbraine wilds. There's no light out there. So we have a small tower out there, and we come and go from there as we please. The nice thing is it's all connected. We're all connected.
That's interesting that you say that. I am actually researching teleportation circles.
So as you say teleportation circles, he looks around and says, "It's real flat here. Anybody want to take a break?" And the shopkeepers who are back there talking to Filnyr, Blackjack Koigo and Corpus Balgruff, they immediately call up and say, "Yes, sir, we can make a sale. We can make a sale." And so he says, "All right, let's stop here for the night." And you're only about half a mile past the temple. And the things like you've been walking, but it's slow going. And so they start setting up, and Galen says, "I'm sorry, I really need to sit down and contemplate the stars for a bit, if you don't mind. Dwarves are back there. They don't even pitch a tent. It's weird. I gave them one, and all they do is put it down. Like they think it's some kind of just like a sleeping bag or something. They just lay down straight on top of the tent, and they won't hear it. I got nothing bad to say about Monteran dwarves, but space available. You know what I'm talking about?" He points up to his head.
Yes, I think I hear what you're saying. I'm going to run an insight check on this guy.
All right.
It's a 16.
What are you insightful about?
He seems to have jumped away from the subject.
Yeah, he has jumped away from the subject. He does not want to tell you about his family.
He does not want to tell me about his family.
Yep. That is a true thing.
Okay.
Or teleportation circles.
Or teleportation
circles. Yes, for sure. He does not want to talk to you about teleportation circles.
I think from my last experience, I think I'll take the hint. And I'll say, listen, Galen, it was very nice meeting you. And hopefully one day I will run into you again. I will let you know that I am very interested in exploring this entire island of ours, and I'd like to get to the Gilbraine Wilds at some point. So hopefully I'll see you there.
Absolutely beautiful. Make sure you bring an elf. And he reaches out his hand to shake your hand.
All right, I shake it.
And when he grabs your hand, you feel him touching your little finger. And he sort of like, his eyes open up kind of wide for a second, and then he just plays it off. Super cool. He says, all right, best of luck to you, wizard.
And you.
All right.
I'm going to send Saber after him.
Okay.
And then
All
I'm
right,
going to walk toward Filnyr.
He is walking back toward the temple. And Filnyr, you've been getting the lowdown with Koigo and Balgruff. These guys are really mostly regaling you with how fucked up Hark City has become.
Okay.
They have instituted a draft, and that has never been their style because all men were forced to join the Hark army from the age of 14 to 18, and then they were free forever after that. Right. So Hark traditionally had very few lifetime troops, and everybody else was super young sort of footies.
Right.
And they have recently started calling them back up. And Koigo in particular, he's an elf, and he's like, yeah, man, we're never going back there. I'm never going to set foot in that city again. I wouldn't go there if I were you either.
Well, I have no plans to go there at the moment. Should I be able to avoid it?
Yeah. All right. And I'll let you roll a charisma, DC 15 charisma check to get one bit of information that you would like from them about any topic. I mean, that they may have.
My curiosity is piqued as a player, but Filnyr would have no reason to know it. But charisma, just a charisma check, right?
Yep, straight charisma check, DC 15.
I got a 12.
Okay. Oh wait, are you? Persuasion doesn't matter, does it, or does it?
Persuasion, I get another. Yeah, I'm proficient, so I get +4 more, so that would make it 16.
Yes, 16. Sorry, it's persuasion. So what's the bit of information you want to find out from them?
I mean, as a player, I want to know why they have so many stonecutters.
What's the lowest price they'll sell diamond dust for?
That's not what Filnyr wants to know.
Well, and he's setting up, and he's like, Filnyr, you want to do you want to play some of my card game that I play?
What stakes?
You know that old card game.
He's like,
the one I play.
It's the one they named after him. His name is Koigo, but they call him Blackjack Koigo. It's a game to 21. It's basically blackjack in our world. And he says 2 out of 3. I'll give you anything I have here, half price. You lose 2 out of 3. I want 400 gold.
Those stakes are a bit too rich to put on the table.
And he opens up a chest and he says, Revivify, Jump, Greater Healing.
Actually, I'm looking for something quite specific.
Monterran Wine, Genie in a Bottle.
I do know someone who might be interested in Monterran Wine. She's not here at the moment.
Galwinia?
No. Lady Cloudsack. I didn't say that to him, though. Well, this may sound odd. Does he prefer I call him Blackjack or Cuerpo?
Blackjack. He likes Blackjack.
Blackjack. Do you have a gem with the eyeball of something undead within it?
Shit, Filnyr. What do you want about?
It's for a friend. And that friend is me. For your friend, Filnyr.
It's for your friend, Filnyr. Me.
He says, I mean, Balgruff has that sort of thing. Yeah. Corpus, over here. Oh, yeah, sure. What's up, Philly?
Hey, Corpus. As I told Blackjack, I'm looking for a gem that has the eyeball of an undead encased within it. Do you have one of those?
Whoa. I'm not going to ask why. How about that?
Perfect.
All right, tell you what. Yes. But I'll tell you what else. 400 gold.
400 gold.
Yeah. How much you want to pay for it? And he pulls out something. It doesn't look exactly like what you're looking for, but you think it'll work. It's an emerald, and it's got like it's got something inside of it. It looks like it's like almost like a piece of ice that's in the shape of an eye. And he says, "Look, I got it from a necromancer, Gaytown necromancer."
And you're saying you got it from a necromancer?
Yeah.
And that's the only one you have?
Perfectly honest with you, I'm going to tell you the truth there. I don't know what it's worth.
Well, I presume it would be worth less than a gem of the same make and size, because not many people want an eyeball in their jewelry.
Okay. Yeah.
Not much of a market, if you know what I'm saying.
200.
200. I can live with 200.
Okay. All right, so he sells it to you for 200 gold, and then Blackjack says, double or nothing. 200 to me, I'll double your money if you beat me.
Well, I'm also looking for holy water. Does either of you have holy water?
Yeah. Blackjack has holy water. Blackjack basically has everything that you could want that's a liquid. He's got poison. He's got potions galore. He's got holy water, or what he claims is holy water.
How can you prove that this is in fact holy water?
I mean, if you're a priest, you know.
Well, then perhaps I should wait for my priest.
All right. So you guys there,
and maybe I'll beckon over Abel and John to or Ionas to do their shopping. I will give introductions, explain who's got what.
And Sam, you're talking to Bobby. You're going to get your persuasion check with Bobby to get one piece of information.
Here's my persuasion check. 21.
Okay.
Nice.
What's the one bit of information you're hoping to get from Bobby?
Well, what? I'm trying to decide sort of what the limits of what counts as one piece of information are. But generally sort of who he expects is in charge. And how they plan to stay in charge. Right?
Okay. Yeah, so he thinks Omn is definitely in charge.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks that Omn probably sent in some of their cloaked wizards to take over.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't think that they would have killed halflings, but they probably would have killed off some of the local army folks, representatives from Adair and Hark.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't really know what he's getting into when he gets back, but he assumes that the war is over and that Omn has fully taken over Lakeshire with Waterdeep.
Oh, okay. And does he know who he would expect to be in charge of that?
He thinks
who's he reporting to?
he thinks it's the Omnian diplomat who's been there for 15 years or so.
Okay.
His name is Carey. His last name is Carey.
Okay. But he thinks it would have to be, he thinks Waterdeep would have to be helping him out.
He thinks Waterdeep would have to be helping them out.
Yeah.
The information about the Gith made him assume Waterdeep was had formalized a treaty and basically an aggression pact with Omn to normalize the Ladybone trade.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, Filnyr, don't waste your money on that. I can make any water holy water.
You have the materials. Or
Is
do you
that
need me
true?
to purchase those?
I don't know.
I think you need some silver. I think it's like.
I mean, let me just say, I know Abel thinks he can do it.
Yeah, holy water. I think it's 100 gold worth of silver or gold dust. I think, or no, silver and iron, powdered silver and iron, worth at least 100 gold, and then water.
And then water.
And then water. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So that's how you make. That's like those are the materials to make holy water, or I can just have holy water. That's what I would need for Magic Circle.
Yeah, ordinarily I would reach my hand to the heavens and then a booming voice call on Tempest's blessing and then infuse it with lightning and shove the lightning into the water itself. But that may not be what you're looking for, you know? I don't know what you got planned. Boy, them dwarves loved it, though.
Perhaps you should make him some holy water to sell, Abel.
Yeah, I'll
Put on a show.
I'll buy some holy water off you. We're setting up. We'll be here all night, probably. Yeah, whenever Galen says stop, that's when we stop.
I don't know. That seems like a perversion of Tempest's blessings. Sounds pretty good to me.
50 gold. I'll give you 50 gold for a thing of holy water. I'll even give you the components.
I call it lightning in a bottle. Wait, I've got everything I need except the water.
With electrolytes.
It's got what dwarves crave.
There it is.
Oh man. All right, so Balgriff is there. Balgriff is also he says, I also have things to sell. I have plenty of things here. Have you smelled this before? And he like half opens up the thing, and it's just like an awful, awful smell coming out of it. He says, it's called a perfume of bewitching. And other things also.
I hear 40% of the time. It works every time.
No, you're thinking of Sex Panther. I don't have that.
If I'm over there, I'd like to go over to Balgriff.
All right, yeah.
And I'll just say, no, do you have a bag that might be able to hold more than it seems it can hold?
I mean, not really for sale, though.
What do you mean not for sale?
You think I get all my good stuff here on the wagon? Like I got armor, baby. I got things to sell, and a bag of holding is not it's not something I'm gonna part with easily.
What about a handy haversack?
Handy haversack. Never heard of him. Where's he from?
It's just a smaller version of a bag of holding.
Oh, nope. All I have is this here bag of holding, which has all my armors in it. I'm going to sell these to Adair.
What about a purse of plenty?
What is that?
It's like a handy haversack, but even smaller.
Copious coin purse.
I know you guys are messing with me now. Come on now.
Yes, just a bit.
I will roll if you're looking for magic items. I can tell you he's got one weapon that's magic.
What about a pouch of plethoras?
I will. Okay, look. I will give you a 10% chance that he has a pouch of plethoris. Roll me a D100, and if you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, he's got one. And if not, I will roll on a minor magic table to tell you what he offers you instead.
Okay, so 1 through 10.
Oh, Jonas, I forgot to ask if anybody has any money.
We have a little bit.
Yeah,
And,
they found some gold.
I'll hand him.
I don't have any.
I'll hand Abel his share, 400 gold.
Wait, I was gonna say, I've got 50 gold on my
Yeah, no,
character sheet here.
we got some more from while you were sleeping.
Yeah, there was some in the actual hut that we found. So
While I was sleeping, huh?
And,
While you were sleeping.
and Tim, for the 200 gold for that item, you also get any spell components that don't cost money. They have everything that goes for you too, John. Anything that doesn't cost money, you get for Tim's 200 gold that he paid for the.
Oh, awesome!
I have one more thing I want to ask about, but John can finish first.
Okay.
Yeah, let me roll this thing here real quick. 47.
Okay. Roll me a D20.
D20. 15.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to give you a choice. He pulls out two things and he says, this, it's like a very common looking padlock. He says, this here cannot be picked. It is a magical lock, and it's constantly changing the key that fits it, except this key, and he holds up a key, he says, this key always fits it. But then this key, and he holds up another key, he says, this key works only exactly 1 day after you last lock it. And it lasts for a day, and then it never works again.
All right, kind of a backup key.
No. I've heard people use it for tricking other people. Letting them go in, making them think, it's their lock, having them fill a chest, and then the key doesn't work anymore.
Interesting.
And the other thing here, this is a horn, and you blow this horn, and you can make anybody who you want to hear it, but nobody else.
And that's all.
And it's a pretty big deal. It works about 600 feet away.
And only whoever I want to hear it will hear it.
One person, yeah. You get to choose who it is.
All right. Sounds like something I can do with my religion. Anyway, how much?
For the pair of them, 100 gold.
How about this? And I pull out my yew wand from the wizard that I killed. I said, this came from a very powerful wizard here on this island. I won it from her. It can be yours.
Okay. Roll your... I'm going to give you deception. Does that sound right for this? I mean, you did kill her.
I did kill her. That's. I'm not deceiving him. I want to trade.
Okay, well, he's going to do an insight check on you here.
I could do persuasion.
Let's do deception.
Okay, I'll do deception.
Okay.
Ooh. I'm going to use a luck point.
Okay.
For the podcast listeners, he rolled a natural one.
A natural one. That was a natural one. Yeah.
Indeed. Natural one. Deception. It's not my best. All right, 16.
Okay. So he doesn't think it's worth as much as these things. He says, okay, the wand plus 90 gold.
90 gold? How about the wand and 50 gold?
How about the wand and 70 gold?
Deal.
All right. All right, so you got a horn of silent alarm and a lock of trickery.
Nice.
All right. And Sam and Tim, you guys have things you want to buy?
I ain't never had money before. I don't know what you can buy with it.
He did mention
Blackjack
armor.
Koigo looks at you and says, "You want to make a lot more money? I could show you this game."
That I know. And I know never play it with anybody who asks.
Well, I'll tell you, that guy over there, Dreed, he's up 300 gold on me.
Yeah,
But-
how well do you know that, Dreed?
Just this leg so far, the last 2 weeks or so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then Galen, he likes to play, but I think he cheats. He's up 50 gold, but at one point I was up 800 on him.
Well, I can't imagine that this little bit of gold I got's enough to buy any kind of special weapons or armor.
And Corpus Balgriff says, "Well, I do have one thing, but you probably don't use warhammers."
No. Oh, not unless I can avoid it.
Yeah, well, that's what I have. I have a warhammer. It's fine quality. And he pulls out this, it's a small bag, and he reaches his hand in. He reaches his arm way in, and he pulls out it's a nice looking warhammer. It is a +2 warhammer.
Ooh.
And he says, "Honestly, I just can't let this go for any less than 2,000 gold."
Yeah, I understand. Hey, how much for that potion of Revivify?
Oh,
That seems like a lot more likely to be needed by me in the near future.
That's blackjack. That's 400 gold.
Oh, now come on.
What do you want from me?
I mean, for 400
This brings you
gold
back from the dead.
of diamonds, I could cast it myself.
Well, how do you think we make it?
Didn't you need diamond dust, Abel? Do they have any?
Yeah, you got any diamond dust?
That I have. And he says, this is just standard price. I'm not ripping you off. You're not ripping me off. 200 gold
For 200 gold worth of diamond dust.
Yeah,
for 150 for 150 gold worth of diamond dust.
That's what I was going to say. Is, I think now this may be sort of a philosophical D&D question, but it says diamond dust worth 100 gold. That means if I pay 100 gold for it, however much diamond dust it is,
It's
it
worth
should
100.
work for the spell, right?
That maybe so. Maybe
Because
so.
it is 100 gold worth of diamond dust.
Fine. Yeah. He has 200 gold worth of 200 gold worth of diamond dust. Sure. So that's
No,
just
it's only
poof in your-
VS diamond dust.
Yeah.
VVS. Whatever. I don't remember any of those rankings anymore.
Yeah, you got it. If you want to pay
Oh.
200 gold for 200 gold worth of diamond dust, you got it.
I will pay 100 gold for 100 gold worth of diamond dust.
Okay. He gives you a small pinch, and it's 100 gold worth.
Wait, you have to say it to the heavens.
Do you accept this for 100
Say
gold?
this diamond dust is 100 gold worth of diamond dust.
And
Say
he
it loud
does.
enough that Tempest can hear you.
And he does. He does.
Corpus, do you have a ring that can store spells?
Nah. No, I do not.
Fair enough. Figured it was off chance.
But you know what? I can tell you're on a quest. My guess is, next time you come across me, I might just have one of those. Assuming you make it back from the Ryan Mighty in one piece.
Should we be worried about the Ryan Mighty?
You gotta go in the forest. A lot of hark in the forest. And they are not letting people through.
Now, I never did ask a question with that roll that I gave, right? You just told me some stuff about hark.
Yeah.
But if I still have a question, I'll ask. On your travels, did you happen to see any teleportation circles?
Well, that's how we used to get around.
It is.
Yeah. We didn't actually go over land so much.
And what?
Galen got spooked about a year ago. And he hadn't been willing to go through a teleportation circle since then.
And which circle was that?
Well, it was when we went from Lakeshire, the last time we were there, straight over to Adair. And it was weird because it felt like we got stuck in that thing. But
yes, I've heard rumors.
But it was weird because we came out, we were all fine. But Galen looked like he'd aged about 15 years.
How odd. I've heard rumors of that happening to someone else. Do you remember the runes around those circles? Adair and Lakeshire.
Let's see. So you know how those things work, yeah?
I have a vague notion. I know they have unique names.
I know the lady in Lakeshire. She owns a bar in the little town. Bar is called the Seafoam Inn. And I couldn't tell you what the runes were. I'm just not attuned to that sort of thing.
And I just yell, "Seafoam, that's on the scroll, Filnyr."
Is it the menu scroll?
I'm sorry. I mean, yes, maybe.
He says, and in Adair we were in another. It's another temple, but it's an old Moonbrook elf temple, and Galen's family's in charge of it.
So we should go talk to Galen.
I wouldn't do that if I were you. He's real spooked about it, man.
Fair enough.
He thinks there are contrail criminals looking for him.
Contrail criminals.
Contrails. That's what the dwarves call the paths, the linkages between the teleportation circles. Contrails.
Uh-huh.
He thinks he's wanted for, I don't know, traveling too many times, or I don't know. I don't know what he thinks. But he won't go through them anymore. And now we're doing this damn circle where we're walking everywhere, taking horses. It's not good for business.
I imagine it slows down the commerce quite a bit.
Yeah, quite a bit.
All right, well, thank you for that.
Best of luck.
Appreciate it.
As Jonas finishes his business, he wants to walk towards Dreed if he can, but as he's leaving, he says, "Any spell scrolls?"
Negatory.
All right. Keeps walking.
Yeah.
Always have to check.
So as you walk over to where Dreed is, the dwarves have, in fact, even though it's midday, they have laid down their tents on the ground, and they have just laid down on top of them to rest. They don't get it. And Dreed is a tall dwarf, and he's laying down, and when you approach, he looks up and says, "Githrin Stonecutter's gonna pay good money to the person who tells him you're still alive. Silhavind." And thus ends episode 42 of the Dungeon Dads podcast. Every war must end.
Just when I'm going to find out some info. I should have gone to Dreed first. I like this.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like this connection here. The Stonecutter dwarves.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
They're happening, man.
They're all going somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about what Tom's going to say about him.
I believe it. I was wondering if this is one of those things you work together on, but I suppose we should get to the bonus episode for that.
Oh yeah, we'll go to the bonus episode. Very little collusion, but some collusion. I'll give you that much.
Maybe not enough collusion.
Perhaps not enough collusion. All right. Thanks for coming back, Sam. Welcome back.
Hey.
Big happenings this episode and big happenings next episode.
Yeah, man.
When Mr. Percy
we met
arrives.
Bobby this episode. That's huge.
Oh, Bobby.
He was like your best friend, except you haven't had one of those.
Yeah.
I
mean, I will always remember this episode as the episode where I met Bobby.
Bobby. I'm hoping that Bobby stays with you for a while. I think you might have a lot of reasons.
We'll get Bobby and Willem.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I will tell you one big secret. Bobby does speak Undercommon.
Not sure it's worth it. Really not sure it's worth it. Anyway, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on Twitter, Dungeon Dads Pod. Check our Facebook page. We have a Reddit subreddit that people use. And then our Patreon, of course, patreon.com/Dungeon Dads. You get Discord access, which is really fast, really chatty, conversational place to chat with us and our other fans. And all sorts of bonus episodes like the one we're about to record.
Yeah, and everybody, please give us those 5 subscribes. We haven't been making a push for them recently, and it's really helpful to us in getting the word out about the show. So,
and we like reading them. It makes us feel good.
That's true.
That's
really
true.
makes
It really
us feel
does.
good. And if we're making you feel good right now, and you want a chance to make us feel good, that's how you do it. Because we read them all, and if you say nice things about us, it warms the cockles of our heart.
Yeah.
And also on Patreon, we got a whole nother campaign called Mountain City Mayhem,
It's
where
good.
you can hear about the origins of the Stonecutter dwarves.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
And,
I thought you were
how
about to
they
say
may have
orgies,
come-
and then I...
You can
That's
hear
the
about
whole
the
word.
many orgies of the Stonecutter dwarves. That's all that campaign is, man. It is wild.
All right, y'all.
Mayhem indeed. All
Hit
right.
the Patreon. Give us those 5. Tell a friend.
Yeah. Let them know about us.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo, everybody.
Toodaloo, everybody.
Bada